This is truly for us. Please read with rapt attention. Many diseases are not diseases, but normal aging. The director of a Beijing hospital gave 5 pieces of advice to the elderly. You are not sick, you are getting old. Many diseases you think are not diseases, but signals that the body is aging. 1. Poor memory is not Alzheimer's disease, but a self-protection mechanism of the elderly brain. Don't scare yourself. This is the brain getting old, not a disease. If you just forget where you put your keys, but you can find them yourself, it is not dementia. 2. Walking slowly and having unsteady legs and feet is not paralysis, but muscle degeneration. The solution is not to take medicine, but to move. 3. Insomnia is not a disease, but the brain is adjusting its rhythm. It is a change in sleep structure. Don't take sleeping pills indiscriminately. Long-term dependence on sleeping pills and other drugs to fall asleep will increase the risk of falls, cognitive impairment, etc. The best sleeping pill for the elderly is to get more sun during the day and maintain a regular schedule. 4. Body aches are not rheumatism, but a normal reaction to nerve aging. 5. Many elderly people say, "My arms and legs hurt everywhere." Is it rheumatism or bone hyperplasia? Bones do become loose and thin, but 99% of body pain is not a disease, but a slow nerve conduction which amplifies the pain. This is called central sensitization, a common physiological change in the elderly. Analgesics are not the solution. Exercise and physical therapy are the adjustment methods. You can recommend foot bath plus hot compress before bed plus light massage, which is more effective than taking medicine. 6. Abnormal physical examination is not a disease, but the index standards have not been updated. 7. The World Health Organization recommends that the physical examination indicators of the elderly should be relaxed. The same is true for cholesterol. The elderly have slightly higher cholesterol, but they live longer because cholesterol is the raw material for synthesizing hormones and cell membranes. Too low a level can easily reduce immunity. The guidelines for the prevention and treatment of hypertension in China also clearly pointed out that the blood pressure reduction target for the elderly is 150/90 mmHg, not the standard of young people 140/90 mmHg. Don't treat aging as illness and don't treat change as lesion. Aging is not a disease, it is a necessary path. A few words should be said to the elderly and their children. First, remember, not all discomfort is a disease. Second, the elderly are most afraid of being scared. Don't be scared by the physical examination report or be fooled by adverts. Third, the most important thing for children is not to take their parents only to the hospital, but to accompany them for walks, sunbathing, eating and talking and bonding. Aging is not the enemy. It's another word for living, but stagnation is the enemy. Stay healthy. Worth reading and understanding the process of health psychology. Reflections from a Brazilian oncologist. 1. Old age officially begins at 60 and should end at 80. 2. The fourth age or old age begins at 80 and ends at 90. 3. Longevity begins at 90 and ends after death. 4. The main problem of an elderly person is loneliness. Often, spouses don't grow old together. Someone always goes first. A widower or widowed becomes a burden to their family. That is why it's so important not to lose touch with friends, to get together and communicate frequently so as not to be a burden to your children and grandchildren who will probably never say so. My personal recommendation is not to lose control of your life. This means deciding when and with whom to go out, what to eat, how to dress, who to call, what time to sleep, what to read, what to have fun with, where to live, etc. Because if you can't do all these things freely and on your own, you will become an unbearable person who will be a burden on others. William Shakespeare said, "I am always happy. Do you know why? Because I don't expect anything from anyone. Waiting is always agonizing. Problems aren't eternal. They always have a solution. We believe we are to blame for our problems. The only one for which there is no cure is death. Before reacting, take a deep breath. Before speaking, listen. Before criticizing, look at yourself. Before writing, think carefully. Before attacking, surrender. Before dying, live the most beautiful life you can. The best relationship isn't with the perfect person, but with someone who has learned and is learning to live as interestingly and beautifully as possible. Notice other people's shortcomings, but also admire and praise their virtues. If you want to be happy, you have to make someone else happy. If you want something, you must first give something of yourself. You need to surround yourself with good, friendly, and interesting people and be one of them. Remember, in difficult times, even with tears in your eyes, stand up and say with a smile that everything is okay because we are the fruit of an evolutionary process. Quick test. If you don't forward this message to anyone, then you are an unhappy, lonely person who has no friends. Send this message to the people you value and you will never forget it.